All right, welcome into the half. My name is Aaron Montgomery. This is Erich Campbell. Erich, welcome to the front side of the screen here for you this morning.
Yeah, back to the front side of the screen, back out of the background. Those still, unfortunately, at the home office had some technical difficulties and decided to hang out here and iron them out rather than running to the office while I was having technical difficulties. Turns out my main
Nice.
camera decided to give up the ghost this morning. It seems like we'll have to see what's going on. I'm going to back up camera, so if I look a little weird, aside from the fact that I always look a little weird, if the camera looks a little weird, that would be why.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, I'm sitting down after standing for an hour at. 2
I was going to say
we're getting everything set up for this. Will be where Kylene's actually sitting for our Breaking Through Limiting Beliefs workshop that's happening.
Yes.
In fact, if there's still time to sign up for that, if you'd like, if you'll go over to oursuccessgroup.com/beliefs and see if we can put that in the comments. I'll try that. Or Erich, if you wouldn't mind. Actually,
yes, I am absolutely.
I
already have it up for the.
Yeah,
I got it here. So oursuccessgroup.com/beliefs. But yeah, I will also have it in the comments for you as well. I'll pop that up as well. But yeah, oursuccessgroup.com/beliefs. Honestly, I talked about something very similar last week. I was talking about people getting over themselves in a very similar way, and limiting beliefs came up as part of it. Because I think creative criticism is a thing that's really hard for a lot of us to deal with. And it was last week's take up. I know everybody's kind of like, hey, get back, stay in your lane, get back to digitizing. But trust me, I think that this creative work is in our lane. And certainly I think self-limiting beliefs, the things that we say to ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves is part of how we have to deal with these things anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And the technique that we're going to share here this afternoon has been so massively powerful for me and my wife that we're like, God, we have to share this. At first I was like, oh, is this too much? Is it too wooey? We actually do it like a little meditation kind of thing. But if you'll allow this to happen in your life, I think you will find such incredible breakthroughs that totally worth it. So check out that site, use the coupon code OSG, and that'll save you $20. And so that's this afternoon, 1:00 Central Time. And there we go. So let's check in with some folks here. We've got Jeff and Adam tuning in. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here again. And Ramona, hey, it's Friday. Sweet.
Hi, Ramona.
Kathleen, appreciate you being here too.
Yes, indeed.
Todd says, must be important. Aaron is sitting down.
No, it's just that.
Or I was just tired.
Tired. Two regular guys standing up in, as you pointed out, weatherman pose is enough to make anybody want to sit down for a little bit. We could have shown our age and said like, oh, Vanna White. Is that a Wheel of Fortune that shows my age a little bit?
I love it. No,
I love that.
I watched that show religiously.
It's definitely a sick at home show for me when I was a kid. One of them.
Yeah, for sure. So it was actually a lot of fun. I think after doing that and kind of experiencing that a little bit, I got to figure out how to kind of set up the studio so I can either stand or sit depending on whatever I'm doing. So that's in the works now. A new project, right? So and then Jeff suggests need a backup to the backup camera.
I fully agree. Like I said, I'm planning on heading into the studio this afternoon, to the wonderful and brilliant studios, but I'm probably going to bring this camera with me because I don't trust the other one's going to work just because I'm changing location or reinstalling. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah, I think it's probably new camera time for me because that one's been through just about all of our shows. I have to say that Logitech, though, is it the C930, I believe? It's like the webcasting, vlogging camera. It's C920.
C922 is their latest one. I thought
it's been really good. I thought about getting the Brio when that came out. Now I'm looking again. So if you guys have awesome camera suggestions, let me know because this thing is washed out and weird, and I'm not pleased with my backup camera right now.
The Brio is incredible. It's just,
I know it's pricey.
I don't know. I'm not sure I want to be on the Brio though. You would see all of this.
Every time somebody says, "Oh yeah, we'll get a 4K camera," and I'm like, Why do that, my man? Why do we gotta? We don't have to do that. We don't need that.
See, Erich, I like to sit a little further back too because.
And this one, I don't know. This particular camera seems to get a little weird with the autofocus. I'm not pleased with it, so I'm kind of up on top of the camera a little bit.
No, you're good, man. You look awesome and amazing.
You look rough, but hey, I'm here.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for being here.
Mike.
Thanks for sharing, Eric.
Absolutely.
And Lori,
Lori.
hello. Thanks for
Hello,
tuning
Lori.
in.
Yes.
And then Sandy, hello, Q. No, I'm just kidding. Hello. It was just a typo, I know. But
hi, Sandy.
let's see here. Mike says, anybody that thinks the take up is only good for digitizing tips isn't paying attention very well. Totally agree.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And Eric, before, I know that you're a modest guy and you don't like these kinds of things, but I'm going to do it anyways.
All right.
I love the take up. I know I don't get to be there as often as I'd like. Typically Friday afternoons is when I catch up. So I know I can always go back and catch the replay.
Yes,
and I try to do that because, yeah, I'm not an embroiderer. The joke is that I have 15 minutes of experience now, and I'm not going to be digitizing. It's just not in my wheelhouse. But I learned so much from you, Eric. So yes,
thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
100%.
And we have Todd's coming in. He's like, do you want a webcam with Zoom or a real cam? I have not necessarily decided yet, but I do need to work that out. Like I said, if I could get I've debated on doing the whole thing people do where they get the DSLR that you can also plug in and go webcam from. I might go there. I don't know. For right now, regular webcam is probably my jams because I also travel with it, as you know. But yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, definitely. And then Jenny's got a great question. Jenny Preston. Thanks for tuning in, Jenny. I'm not sure I've seen you here before. Maybe I have, but I apologize.
Yeah, Jenny's out of the UK. She's been in here a couple times. She's definitely a take-up viewer.
Right.
So yeah, happy to have Jenny in.
Yep, definitely. Thanks for tuning in, Jenny. And so I'm going to let you answer this one, Eric. Do you use a gimbal when you video by the machines?
Yeah, I'll do that tripod sometimes. I generally don't couple it to the machine necessarily because you have issues with vibration and stuff. But yeah, generally I'll go with a tripod next to the machines. When I have done videoing from the machines, though, it's often it's just on my phone. It's almost always phone, not a standard cam. Because honestly, at the resolutions we stream at, usually that is fine. And most of the time it's what I'm using the video for. I will say, though, I have in a pinch, you can actually get past some of the vibration by putting the camera right against the machine and touching it to the machine with you while you're videoing. And I've actually had it come out better for that because the camera's moving with the machine as it moves. So sometimes I will do it like that as long as I'm not, but that's if I'm literally holding and I've done this live and it's not something you should always do. I've held the camera against the head while it's moving or against, right up against the head, usually on the guard in front of the thread guides. Because holding it right up against the head means that as everything's moving, if it shutters, the camera's moving at the same rate as the machine. However, if I have it, like I've done Gorilla Pods, if you've ever seen those flexible tripods, when I do that, it bobbles at a different rate to the machine, and then you see a lot of vibration. So I've had some issues with that. It depends on, the camera. And actually, Mike's got a really good point for this one too. Yeah. GoPro does well at filtering machine vibration. Yeah, sports cameras and action cameras actually do pretty decently because they are made for this, handling that too. So yeah, I like to use a tripod or something. I think it's just good not to have it on your hands if you don't have to. But if you're walking by a machine, this is the thing I've always said. If you're walking by a machine that's running, you see something awesome that you want to show, take the video because the bad video that you have is better than the good video you didn't set up for. Just take the video. And sometimes I will literally just hold that thing up there. So I do like that.
Mike, what GoPro do you have? I'm actually in the market right now. So
would love to hear from you on that one, Mike, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's see what else we got here. Hello, Tom. Appreciate you.
Tom of Buzzards Bay, and I got a message I got to reply to from Tom. I did get your message, sir. Just haven't had a chance to reply yet. But that's how it often goes.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jeff says, Jenny's question was very good. Hello, Letty. Thanks for being here.
And I love what
Jenny's doing
here.
Jenny here, Eric. I do time-lapse videos for some of my customers. They love it. That's cool.
They absolutely do. Every time somebody tells me nobody's going to watch your machine running, absolutely they do. I still watch other people's machine running after all these years. Yes, the process of this thing working is fascinating to people. So absolutely. And time-lapse means you don't go through the whole process of actually watching it run. So it's all the goodness of seeing what's behind the scenes. But think about it. It's like, if you've ever watched how it's made, this is how it's made embroidery, how it's made garment deck edition, and everybody's in, especially because it's their logo on it. Heck, release the video to them to show on their website because they're getting new garments. And have them and just put your bug in the corner for your website. Come on. I mean, that's promotion you can't get elsewhere. So go for it.
That's for sure. How It's Made is one of my favorite shows. I think there's like 99 seasons of it, and I think I've watched every one.
It's the best. What's really great though is sometimes you'll get like a how it's made from somewhere that is not the same as where you are, culturally different, or the products are strange. I
Yeah.
love that. I like a weird
Yeah.
product that I've never seen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm into watching the machinery run.
Yeah. But when they
No, no
changed the
surprise.
announcer, I was like, I don't know about the new guy. But yeah,
You're like my wife. I'm good with whatever announcer, but that was like, and I know this is off topic. Every time Doctor Who changes, my wife's like, I'm never watching this again. No, forget it. I liked the old Doctor. The old Doctor was better. This new Doctor's crap. Every time, though, this has happened repeatedly. She likes Doctor Who, but I still can't get with the new one, no matter which new one it is.
Yeah. So Jeff says Tajima's new feature, anti-phone and the pokey sensor.
Yeah, I know, right? Now I can't have my phone in the machine value. Hey, Tajima's new feature, onboard high-def camera, so you can take these without having your phone attached. So
I like it.
Everybody, hey, ZSK, camera mounts, can we talk?
Yeah.
Can we talk?
Sure. Yeah, it's just little camera shoes, man. That'd be perfect.
Jenny, you were about it.
Says, I do them so they can post it on their social media. I think you were talking about that, Eric, right? And Sheila, thanks for being here.
Sheila.
Letty says, I always wonder about going live. People keep asking me for longer clips on my Facebook. Yeah, Letty, I would highly recommend it. I think that there's really some great stuff that can happen. I know live can be a little scary, right? What if something goes wrong? People enjoy that you're a real live human being that makes mistakes, that you know is out there and sharing what you know and kind of opening the curtain and all that kind of fun stuff. That really attracts people to other people.
Oh yeah.
And so doing
not to mention
huge.
The way the algorithms are running right now, the way the engines for recommending content are right now, at least. When you go live, it is the most chance somebody gets a live ping if they're currently viewing anything on that social media site that says, hey, someone you are following is live right now. It is probably the most immediate access you can get to people. Now, it doesn't always play that way. You then do have to think about what times you go live to some degree. But I have had more people show up and engage on random lives than I do with published videos sometimes. It's frequently the case. In fact, that's why a lot of our model has always been go live and then answer questions on the recording later or promote the recording after the fact. I think it's a valuable way to go.
Yeah. And that live, allows you to kind of try some things out, practice some things, if you really wanted to then, if that really got a lot of response or engagement, then you can come back and make a produced video that will be 100%. Living on your site and stuff like that. But
100%.
It's a great way to test things out too. In fact, Jeff says machine running videos are probably my most engaged videos on Facebook.
I fully believe it. Between that and when I've done live digitizing, as much as I am never a fan of doing it, people love it. And I'm never a fan of that. I don't like the time lapse or the live digitizing, especially live, because we all know random things happen on your computer that shut things down. So I hate that. But at the same time, like, everybody wants to see that stuff live. Everybody wants to see things running. And it doesn't matter what machine you're on. They're just watching the needle and thread do their deal.
Totally. So Tom says, I use tripod with GoPro and phone for most projects. There you go.
Yep.
Right, Tom?
100%. No, I love using phones because sometimes I use Android phones, and often I can use my last phone that I've just upgraded from as a streaming cam, and I can actually access it through apps. There are multiple apps you can use to then use that thing remotely, which is awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
I've been trying to just keep forcing, and then I'm like, I got to do this. I got to take the case off of it.
Upgrade your phone, take the last phone, make it into a Wi-Fi enabled camera, and then you can use that thing, because usually the cameras are still pretty darn good. Nice. So it's a way you can get a second use out of that thing and then have a remote link. I know I've been thinking about doing it with the Take Up. At some point with the Take Up, I haven't set it up yet. Some point with the Take Up, I will do some live machine work where I'll have that come in as a second user. I'm still working on that. But yeah, it's something I want to do.
Yeah. Well, this is a great Q&A, Eric. I think I'm going to show up every week and maybe tell my friends about it too. Huh.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody else should do that. They should tell people to show
up. Mike says, mine is old, Hero 4 Silver, the first one with the touchscreen. Can control with my phone via Wi-Fi. I wouldn't go any older if you're in the used market, but if buying new, any of the current models will more than handle shop bids and more. Cool. Okay. Thanks, Mike. That's great. Great feedback and recommendation. Second thing I learned, I gotta start writing this stuff down or something.
Go like Terry.
Yeah, there we go.
And I'll say this, every time we tease Terry about the writing, there are studies that show that your memory gets more engaged from writing with your hands. So
Yeah.
I actually do a lot of my outlining for articles and stuff on paper, and I have for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't always, because I can't always, but I do that. Or hey, if you're somebody like us who digitizes and has a tablet, use the ink feature on your tablet and draw out your notes, because still engaging your hand in that way helps you to get more memory and processing.
So I don't know where, I can't find who to attribute the quote for, so I'm just going to steal it. It's an unknown, but I'm just going to steal it. So my new quote is, a short pencil is better than a long memory.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Record everything. That's a good one. I like that. I'll have to look that up.
All right. Jeff says, I have the Hero 8. I'll try for a time lapse. I kind of wish I would have gotten the 9. Okay. Good.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, time lapses are cool. I haven't done a ton of them. The times I've done them that I have been engaged nicely. Back in the day, I did them for booth setups when we were doing trade shows. That's one of those ones where, for some reason, people super engage with watching everybody set up a booth. They love to see that corner view, that corner overhead view of people running around like little ants. They love that. And so I've had more engagement on those whenever I'm talking about booth stuff. And it's stupid because it's like, it doesn't show the stuff you're really working on. Doesn't show the garbage, but for some reason they love seeing that. What's cool though, if you want a mug for the camera or make it funny, every once in a while, hold something up to the camera as you run by through the time lapse and make sure that gets on there, because it's worthwhile. But yeah, fun stuff.
I'm like getting gold here today. This is awesome. All right, Jeff says Facebook live blooper reel. That could be fun.
Though, you know what? I can't tell you how many times people have really just loved that. They engage with the fact that we have problems. They engage with the fact that we're going live against all odds. And I think that's it. It makes you human.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories from Two Regular Guys actually was the one time that we recorded the show. I was so mad because I think it would have been great live. Yeah. But we had a guest that at their job, so they're in a building at their place of employment, and they had a fire alarm go off, and we're like, "Do you need to go?" And she's like, "Yeah, I think I should probably go just in case." And we're like, "Yes, please go walk."
If I recall, this was Teresa Hagel from ASI.
That's right. That's right.
Of at the time Stitches magazine. After that, now ASI took proper, as the magazines have kind of disappeared over there, mostly except for Counselor. But yeah, I believe that was Teresa who was sitting with us during a fire alarm. It was awesome.
She was so good. I mean, she was so professional. She was like kind of wanting to hang in there. And we're kind of like, you know what?
She was cool.
You should probably go. And she's like, yeah, I guess I should.
Like, hey, like I said, we've all we have technical issues. Like I said, you guys now know about my camera and things that are going on and why I'm not in the shop yet. I'm not into the wonderful and brilliant studios just yet. But hey, the thing is, I think people still understand that and they vibe with it. I think it's a good way to go.
Yeah, Sheila mentions crazy things happen when I go live, but I still keep doing it. Cats, dogs, it all happens. Yep.
Cats and dogs, nobody likes anything more than seeing your animal more than you. Trust me. I don't know why I don't bring little cats in here right now, or I swear.
I do have to share a quick story. I'll try not to go too long here, but
sure, go for it.
I was doing it. I was part of this Zoom training session that we were on, and one of the speakers was there, and their screen just happened to be featured, but they weren't talking, so they weren't really paying attention. But their cat had gotten up, and the cat was right in front of the camera with its rear end facing the camera. And you're like, oh, there's a cat. You know what?
yeah, for sure.
All right. Mike says, I won't go live until my shop is presentable enough.
Hey, what I am going to tell you is, you don't know what's going on outside this frame. You don't know what this floor looks like. I had to drag a bunch of tools from home improvement into this room recently. And trust me, I won't show you the floor right now.
Well,
but it works.
Most of the time, it's all smoke and mirrors anyways. I mean, you can actually see some of my smoke and mirrors. So I was standing for the Two Regular Guys before. We were trying to get something to kind of fill a space over here. So we've got our little stool that
and we can see it
when he was a kid, with the plant sitting on top of it. Before, I was standing in front of the cord, right? And you got the screen. Before we do the workshop, we'll actually have a backdrop here all covered, and so there's a nice little backdrop and all that other stuff. So, all right. Brian said, I just popped in for this random live. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Yeah, good morning, Brian. Adam's doing his first sorta solo live pretty soon. That's
awesome. Break a leg, Adam.
Yeah.
As you know, we don't say good luck in the industry. We say break a leg.
Break a leg. Todd says, I've had great live fails on Tuesdays with Todd this week. Good times. I had to go, so I didn't catch it. Now I have to go back and watch the replay.
This is true.
When you're typing in front of an audience, your words per minute goes to 1.
Here's what I'll say is,
1.
if you're somebody who looks at your own keyboard, yeah, it's the worst. Now, I don't generally look at the keyboard, but I catch myself knowing I must do it more than I thought, because once my microphone, you guys don't know, is my microphone setup is right here, and it's between me and the keyboard, and there must be a difference between this layout and the one on my other laptop, because this layout, I mess up way more often now. In fact, I know what it is. My control key and my function key are swapped on this keyboard, and it makes me insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what in reality is happening there is that we all think we can multitask, but human brains don't multitask. We just, people that are multitaskers, they're just able to switch from one task to another faster. But now we're doing like 3 things at once, right? We're trying to talk. We're trying to bring our thoughts forward.
When I'm not on camera, I'm not bad. When I'm not on camera for 2 other guys, I pull up info pretty quick, but add the camera to it, it's a bit much.
Yeah. So I believe the new GoPros have the ability to be a webcam for Zoom and such. I think it's probably such, but maybe they suck too. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, and that's the thing. Wi-Fi enabled cameras are awesome, but like I said, if you have an older phone that's still working well, I've had good luck with Android phones using webcam apps. It's not perfect, but it does allow you to try it out. If you just want to try out the concept, it's something cool to try.
And then Adam shares, I do a lot of time-lapse videos of me sewing. They do well on Facebook. Good job, Adam.
No, it's fantastic. Watching the hat construction videos are very cool. And I think that's something that not everybody has seen done. That's something very useful.
Yeah, definitely. Gusta, hello. Or how does it actually say?
Yosta.
Yosta. I'm just going to keep calling you Gusta because I like it. Yosta. All right, I'll get better. Jeff says, with the ability in StreamYard now to play pre-recorded videos as lives, do you think we will see a shift to that? I think you would still need to show up to engage in the comments. Yeah.
I'm going to say, I sorry to bust it on this, but I have a feeling I really do have something about this. Part of the reason we do this show is because we found that more people show up and want to be here while we're live engaging with you. And even when we're doing our shows with audience, with not just an audience, with somebody who we're interviewing, we can't be as engaged with people. And so having a full Q&A where we really are just willing to stop to talk to people gets incredible engagement. So I think that there really is a place for that. But I kind of think I want to go where Brian's going to come up in a second. I don't want to cut off. I want Aaron to jump in on this one too. But yeah, I think that pre-recorded works, but if you add behind the scenes in QA, you're covering all bases. I think it's part of the mix. I can imagine premiering certain things on StreamYard or being able to take our produced content and have live premieres without having to rely on the different social media sites allowing us to do it. Because there's premieres on YouTube, there's premieres on Facebook. Being able to have a multi-stream premiere of a recorded video, I think is awesome. But I do agree that I'd want to be in the comments for a lot of those.
Yeah. And so it will, like you said, function kind of like that premiere on the YouTube side and places like that, where what you're talking about here is you're getting, I think people are using it like if a technical difficulty happens or if something, their guest doesn't show up. So they've got one kind of in the tank just in case that's a pre-recorded. And, so there are some use cases for it for sure, but I don't think we're going to see a shift to it in any way, shape or form. I honestly am trying to figure out, like, from either Two Regular Guys, our success group, what we're doing here on the half, any of that stuff. Is there a use case for it? And I haven't come up with one yet. So,
no, I mean, aside from literally maintaining, we talk about consistency a lot. I know, especially we've been talking with Adam about consistency in social media. I can imagine, like, we're about to do a Two Regular Guys off schedule because we're at a trade show. I can imagine recording that live and then again kicking it up as a pre-recorded video at our usual time slot.
Yeah.
So that's a useful. I can see just time shifting, being able to time shift. Or let's say you do have some viewership who would like to see things, off hours or at a different hour where you can't be live. I can imagine having that premiere done that way. Yeah. And certainly small announcements, short announcements, or other sorts of produced videos, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. StreamYard is for live content, and I like it as a live vehicle. I prefer it that way, personally.
Yeah. Well, and I think what ends up happening is you have so many different people using this service and trying to make it work for what they do. You know, if there's time delays, or I mean, I know people that are using this almost like a full TV studio setup.
Oh yeah,
and,
for sure.
doing, broadcasting live sports, or and but then maybe they've got to cut because there's a rain delay, or all of these different. So StreamYard is just kind of building those things in. I mean, we're not here to sell StreamYard, but it's been a great service. But it is what it is. It's meant for live video, and so I think that means we won't see a big shift.
No, I think there's this for people who are just looking for a multi-stream casting ability. Like I said, to be able to do the same thing that a watch party or a premiere does. I think that there are people who will get into StreamYard doing that. But I still think that the people who are going live won't just switch to pre-recorded just because it's available. If anything, what might just happen is you'll find them trying out some pre-recorded content to see if it's useful. I think Aaron may have slightly dropped off there, so I'm going to go ahead and jump on a couple comments there. It seems like you're timing out a little bit, but let's go ahead and see here. Did you pop back up? All right. Mike says, hopefully not the full thing, but maybe as an inserted vignette or something with commentary, that would be useful. Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, it looks like Aaron dropped out for a second. We'll go ahead and let Aaron speed back up. And unfortunately, you're going to get my wonky camera and my full face view. But here we go for that. Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But Jenny, I get where you're going with this. I won't go live where anyone can see the background either. Too much mess. I know I feel kind of right now. I'm not happy with my background. I need to get my own green screen set up the way that I have at the wonderful and brilliant studios. Because honestly, I would rather not have my home office behind me. But like I said, this morning when I fired up my machine and was trying to check out my camera setup, I was having issues with it earlier. My main camera just didn't go for it. So I had to do a lot of testing, and I didn't have time to get out to the shop. But I fully agree. Sometimes the green screen feels like the absolute way to go. And you know what? Green screen, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's a little bland. I would prefer to have something in camera, very much more like Aaron's doing. But sometimes the green screen can be a blessing when you really don't have the studio space set up any other way. So for sure. Let's see. I think Aaron's back. We can see if Aaron's come back on stream, but I think he's still might be a little choppy. We'll see how you're doing, sir. Still out? All right. Yeah. Okay. Still running slow. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pop back in with some other comments real quick. And I kind of agree with this too. Yosta says, you need the live before and after the pre-recorded video. Yeah, that's another way to handle it for sure. Being able to do a little live segment before and after, or I can imagine doing it that way, but I think at least the way StreamYard works, it looks like it's an either or kind of situation. Yes, they have videos that you can run during your show, but the live video feature the video feature that we're talking about, I think it's more of a pre-recorded full event. So I have to admit, haven't gotten to use it yet. We'll have to see how that goes. I know other ways have that working for sure. There are other platforms where people are doing that. And I also know a lot of people who use these multi-streaming platforms, but they essentially have an OBS. If you guys don't know that one, the Broadcast Studio OBS is an open source piece of software. They'll set up everything and then just stream it out of that. So they're getting a finished video stream that has all of the multiple cameras and sources and everything else pre-made in another software, and they kick it out into streaming. And that's one way to do it, but you have to be pretty well into it for that. I think for a lot of entry-level people, StreamYard has enough tools, and I think they're just trying to get to a robust set of tools where people who just want to log in and not have a bunch of, streaming tools and don't want to learn how to be a Twitch streamer or whatever, don't want to learn how to be a full-time tuber, can go ahead and get in and do it the way we do.
Yeah, because to run that OBS side of things,
it's the next level.
To be so powerful and process and all this stuff. So,
I mean,
I love it. Easy for a beginner to jump into that.
It's a lot easier to do it like this. I'll say it that way. It's a lot easier to do it this way. It's a lot easier to set up. OBS is super powerful, like it, but at the same time, jumping in with StreamYard is just much easier. Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
No worries.
My son decided to get onto a FaceTime video with his friends while they were playing a video game on the internet. So we just ran out of bandwidth there real quick. But
hey, that's the reality of family life, my friend.
That's right. That's right. Where are we at here? Did we miss? What's next?
We have a couple more comments that I think are interesting to talk about. Sheila says, Facebook doesn't seem to like reused video content as much as live. Yeah, live content right now is king as far as the streaming services, honestly, all the social media tends to go. Live tends to get the biggest hit right now. Like I said, I don't know if it'll be forever. That's like a lot of things have been before. We've seen content shift. We've seen how that goes before, but right now going live is a thing. And to the point which, and I had to discuss this with somebody earlier, and I haven't really made enough use of this. You guys know that I sell on Amazon, that I manage an Amazon channel. Amazon has live channels and social media like features coming in for sellers. So it's to the point where this live video, live streaming concept
Tune in next week for more.
Nobody wants your e-commerce content, Eric.
Tune in next week. I wrote it down. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.